Welcome back to the deep dive. Today our mission is to get into a medication that, if you've ever had a cat, you've probably seen on your counter. Clavamox.
Or amoxicillin clavulanate, if we're being technical.
Right, and
Okay.
it's more than just another antibiotic. We're going to get into why it's such a smart, specifically designed tool against some really clever bacteria.
It really is a workhorse. But, its wide use means we absolutely have to be precise about when and why we use it. This deep dive is all about finding that perfect fit.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We hear the name Clavamox all the time. What's the one thing that makes it different from, say, plain old amoxicillin?
It's all about the combination. It's a team effort. You have amoxicillin, which is a fantastic, proven beta-lactam antibiotic, but many bacteria figured out how to fight it.
They've developed a defense system. And this is really the aha moment, isn't it? This is why Clavamox was even invented.
Exactly. The bacteria's secret weapon is this enzyme called beta-lactamase. Think of it
Okay.
like a little Pac-Man that the bacteria releases. And this enzyme's only job is to find the amoxicillin molecule and chew up the part that makes it work, the beta-lactam ring. It just neutralizes the drug on contact.
Wow, so that's a pretty sophisticated defense. So if amoxicillin is the weapon, what part does the other ingredient, the clavulanic acid, play? Is it also fighting the bacteria?
Not directly, and that's the genius of it. The clavulanic acid is, well, it's basically a decoy.
A decoy.
Yes, it's a beta-lactamase inhibitor. So when you give the drug, the bacteria send out their little Pac-Men, their enzymes, but they go after the clavulanic acid first. It essentially sacrifices itself.
So it takes the hit.
It takes the hit, allowing the real weapon, the amoxicillin, to get past the defenses and do its job destroying the bacterial wall.
That's fascinating. So the whole point of Clavamox is to treat infections from bacteria that have this built-in shield.
Yeah.
It makes resistant infections treatable again.
Precisely. And in cats, we see a lot of infections where these resistant beta-lactamase producing bugs are part of the problem.
Which is a perfect segue into the main indications. We've got 6 major areas where this drug is a go-to. Let's start with maybe the most common one in any vet clinic. Skin and soft tissue infections.
Oh, for sure. If you think Clavamox in cats, the first thing that should come to mind is abscesses, especially from bite wounds.
Ah, the classic cat fight injury.
Yes, and cat bites are so nasty because their teeth are like little needles. They inject bacteria deep under the skin, and then the tiny puncture wound just seals right up.
Creating a perfect little pocket.
A perfect anaerobic environment. And the mix of bacteria in a cat's mouth, a lot of them produce beta-lactamase. So if you just used regular amoxicillin, it would probably fail.
Yeah.
Clavamox is designed for exactly this scenario.
So it's not just for abscesses, but also other skin stuff.
Right. We also use it for cellulitis. That's more of a spreading inflammation in the tissue, and other sort of general subcutaneous infections. It just gives you really robust coverage.
Okay, that makes sense. Moving on from the skin, what about our second area? The respiratory tract.
Yes, both upper and lower. You often see things like bacterial rhinitis or sinusitis in cats, lots of congestion, nasty discharge.
And is that usually the primary problem?
Often, no. A lot of the time, the whole thing starts with a virus, like feline herpes virus. The virus damages the delicate lining of the nose and airways.
And that opens the door for bacteria to move in.
It's the classic secondary infection. The cat's defenses are down, and these bacteria take over. Clavamox is really effective at cleaning up that secondary bacterial mess that follows the initial viral hit.
Got it. Now for our third area, one that I think gets overlooked a lot, oral and dental health.
The mouth is another one of those places just teeming with a mix of aggressive bacteria, including those anaerobes that thrive without oxygen.
So what are we treating there, like inflamed gums?
Yes, things like gingivitis and stomatitis, especially when there's a clear bacterial overgrowth making things worse. But where it's really critical is for the deep stuff.
Deeper than the gums.
Oh, yeah. We're talking tooth root abscesses. These are incredibly painful and almost always involve these complex, resistant bacteria. Clavamox is a frontline choice for managing these, often before and after a dental procedure.
It really seems like its strength is in those hard-to-reach, low-oxygen places. Okay, let's shift gears a bit to some of the less common, but still critical uses. What about the gastrointestinal system?
This is an area where we have to be a bit more careful. You don't want to just throw a broad-spectrum antibiotic at a cat with a bit of diarrhea.
Right, because of the gut microbiome.
Exactly. You can cause more harm than good. Clavamox is really reserved for confirmed cases of bacterial enteritis, where we know or strongly suspect there's a specific susceptible bug causing a serious problem. We only use it when we really have to.
Targeted use is responsible use.
Okay.
Makes sense. What about our fifth indication, something a lot of owners worry about? UTIs.
Urinary tract infections, yes. It's indicated for what we call uncomplicated bacterial cystitis.
So an infection that's just in the bladder, not up in the kidneys.
Correct. And the sources show it's effective against the usual suspects, E. coli, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus. But, and this is a big but,
Oh.
resistance in UTIs can be really high. So while Clavamox is a good first choice, if you can get a culture and sensitivity test done, that's always the gold standard. It tells you exactly what bug you're fighting and what will kill it.
Diagnostics guide the treatment. That's a great point. Okay, last one. Number 6, prophylaxis. Using it to prevent an infection.
Right. This is mainly for post-operative situations. After certain surgeries where the risk of infection is really high, you give it to get ahead of any problems.
Can you give us an example?
The best one is major dental surgery, multiple extractions. That whole area is just contaminated with oral bacteria from the start.
So you're just trying to prevent an abscess from forming in the jaw.
Exactly. Or after cleaning up a really dirty wound from trauma, a short course of Clavamox in those cases can make all the difference.
That really paints a clear picture of where this drug fits. Now let's get into the practical side. The stuff you as the cat owner really need to get right. Dosage and duration.
And this is where compliance is just everything. The standard dose is between 12.5 and 25 milligrams per kilogram of body weight given every 12 hours.
And most vets start on the lower end.
Yes, 12.5 millikilograms twice a day is the common starting dose. It usually comes in a 62.5 milligram tablet, which is, a good size for an average cat, or as a liquid suspension.
The liquid. Which seems easier, but we all know pilling a cat is a special kind of challenge.
It's often the biggest hurdle to successful treatment, honestly. Whether it's a pill or liquid, getting it in the cat on time every time is crucial.
So assuming you manage that feat, how long does the treatment usually last?
For a simple infection, we're typically looking at 7 to 14 days. But, and this is important, it's not one size fits all.
So some infections need a longer course.
Absolutely. A deep abscess, a nasty dental infection. Those bacteria are dug in deep. For those, a vet might prescribe a course that's much longer than 2 weeks. You just have to follow the prescribed duration no matter what.
Stick to the plan. Now, you mentioned 2 really critical safety notes. The first one was about kidneys.
Non-negotiable. The drug is cleared by the kidneys, so if you have a cat with any kind of kidney impairment, which is common in older cats, the dose has to be reduced. Otherwise, the drug can build up to toxic levels.
And the second point, the biggest, do not use.
A known penicillin allergy. Amoxicillin is in the penicillin family, so if a cat has ever had a reaction to penicillin, Clavamox is an absolute no-go. The risk is just too high.
Good to know. And what about side effects for most cats? Is it pretty safe?
Generally, yes. It's well tolerated, and the most common thing you might see is some mild GI upset, maybe a little vomiting or diarrhea.
From disrupting the gut bacteria.
Exactly. Sometimes giving it with a little bit of food can help settle their stomach.
Okay, let's get to what might be the single most important takeaway from this entire deep dive. This goes beyond just treating one cat. It's about public health. Let's talk about antimicrobial resistance.
This is it. This is the message. You absolutely must complete the full prescribed course of medication, even if your cat seems perfectly fine after 3 days.
Explain why that's so critical. Why is that last dose just as important as the first?
Because when you start the treatment, you kill off all the weakest bacteria first. They die off quickly. The ones that are left after a few days are the tougher ones, the ones that are slightly more resistant.
So if you stop early?
If you stop early, you've just done a favor for the strongest bacteria. You've killed all their competition.
And you've left the survivors to multiply.
And they multiply, passing on whatever trait helped them survive. You've now selected for a resistant population. You're breeding superbugs right inside your own cat. It's not just a risk for a relapse. It contributes to the global problem.
Wow, that really puts the responsibility squarely on the person giving the meds. So to bring it all together, the story of Clavamox is really about outsmarting the bacteria. The clavulanic acid basically acts as a shield breaker for the amoxicillin.
It's smart chemistry fighting smart bacteria. It lets us keep using a reliable antibiotic even as pathogens evolve, but only if we use it correctly.
What a fantastic deep dive. We've hit the mechanism, the 6 main uses from abscesses to UTIs, and the absolute importance of proper dosing and finishing the course.
It really shows that with powerful medicine comes a powerful responsibility.
Absolutely. And speaking of that responsibility, let's leave our listeners with a final thought to chew on. We've talked about how critical it is to finish every single dose to fight resistance. So think about this. If just one owner gets frustrated trying to pill their difficult cat and decides to stop on day 5 instead of day 10, how does that one small act of giving up connect to the massive challenge a veterinarian faces 5 years from now, trying to treat an infection that is now completely resistant to our frontline drugs?
The struggle to pill one cat today is directly linked to whether we'll have effective antibiotics tomorrow. It connects that small, frustrating moment to a huge global consequence.
Something to think about the next time you're holding that little pill. Thanks for tuning in.